Hi, Aquarius. Welcome to your March reading. We're going to start shuffling for you and kind of talk about the planets and stuff as we go along. There's a pretty big thing that's happening in March for you guys. And it's interesting because I said this to Virgo yesterday. Like I want to get the readings done because I need you guys to see that this retrograde is temporary and that all of that stuff is like, I need the people that can easily be pessimistic because they become too realistic about stuff and pessimistic about stuff. And so I want you guys to see and to know that things are getting better. This retrograde does not equal pain and horror and like, there are so many amazing things that are coming up for you guys. Now, Saturn is moving into Aquarius in March. March 21st, Saturn moves into Aquarius. It will be there for about a month and a half, maybe a little over that. And, well, it'll be there for a little bit. Well, it'll be there for about 3 months. Okay, about 3 months, because it'll retrograde in May and go back into Capricorn and then go direct again and be back in Aquarius December 17th. Okay, so you're sort of getting a taste of what this Saturn transit, and I'll do like a whole video on what Saturn in Aquarius actually means, especially if you have your Saturn in Aquarius. That means that this is your Saturn return. I am doing astrology readings now, like your astro chart, right? And if you didn't get a chance to get your birthday reading, you still have a week to do that. I'm doing this video on the 20th of February. And so until the 28th, so you have like 8 days from today. So if you haven't gotten your birthday reading, if you get the full hour and we do it live, you get a chart reading, or you can get a 30-minute reading also that you can get recorded. It's either recorded or live. But here's the thing is, Big Daddy's coming, guys. That's who Saturn is. Big Daddy's coming. And if you want to know what that means for you this year, I would love to help you with that. Okay? But it's not, I don't want you to go into this thought process being scared. It's not the easiest transit, but everybody has to do it. And what is it all about? It's about learning lessons about ourselves. It's about evolution. It's about growth. Saturn in Aquarius is different than Saturn in Capricorn. Saturn in Capricorn was really, really painful for a lot of people. And it was in your 12th house. So now you get to focus on everything that your subconscious has been trying to show you. Some of you may have even gone through like a spiritual awakening while Saturn was in your 12th house. And that's like the last 2.5 years, basically. So let me show you these cards and show you how amazing it is. The Ace of Wands is the first card that came up, you guys. This is an opportunity of passion and excitement that the universe is literally handing to you. It's the Ace of Wands. It's ace, the aces are gifts from the universe. And then we have the Four of Swords and we have the Devil. The Devil represents Saturn. It actually represents Capricorn. So what does this mean? You're getting kind of a taste. You're getting an opportunity for Saturn to reveal to you those really big lessons that you're going to be learning for the next 2.5 years. So pay attention to what the Mercury retrograde taught you or is teaching you, because that'll be over on March 9th. And then that's when Mercury goes direct. And then we have the post-shadow period, right? And then immediately after the post-shadow period, Saturn goes into Aquarius. So literally this retrograde is like, it's like a sneak peek, right? And then the Saturn transit, the short one before it goes back into Capricorn for a couple of months, that's like the trailer of the movie. So you got the sneak peek in Mercury retrograde. Now you have the trailer coming up. And then when it hits you in December later this year, when Saturn gets back into Aquarius, December 17th, December 17th, once it gets there, you'll be prepared, right? Because it's just that easy. Snap of your fingers. We all know it's not that easy. I get it. But here's the thing, Aquarius, is don't try and figure it out. Just let it flow, right? This Four of Swords is saying you don't have to do all the things to find all the things. All you have to do is take a step back and let yourself rest. And just kind of let it happen. Let it show you. All right. So, okay. Yes. See? And this is this is exactly what I was telling Virgo. You may not believe me. Come back in March. If this isn't resonating for you right now, come back in March because it's amazing. There's some kind of communication or really fast movement that's coming in with this Saturn transit for you. And it's bringing you an opportunity, I literally want to say, to win. Like, it's bringing you a winning opportunity. Oh, look at all this fire. The Ace of Wands, the Six of Wands, the Eight of Wands. Pushing forward. Let's get one more card and then we'll go through and clarify them. There we go. Seven of Wands. Look at all that fire, you guys. And it's also, Saturn is also bringing in the opportunity for you to finally have those boundaries. Seven of Wands. So there's, you could actually be dealing with a Capricorn energy too. It could, or you could have had just come out of your Saturn return, you know, being an Aquarius and having like maybe a Capricorn Saturn. But that Seven of Wands is saying, like, the reason why all of this stuff is happening now is because you did create those boundaries. They're not walls anymore, because now you're able to be a little bit more vulnerable to put yourself out there. And it doesn't have to be like, remember, like we talked about in the love reading, if you didn't see it, you should go see it. We talked about the walls that you guys can create sometimes. Thinking that you're just supposed to be alone in life, and you're not. You're not supposed, just because you're an Aquarius does not mean, Aquarian does not equal being alone. You just think that not everybody understands you. There are people out there that do and will. But you also have to be open enough to it, which means you have to allow yourself that permission. Thank you very much. So, I love this Seven of Wands too. Oh, by the way, the deck that I'm using is the Light Seers Tarot. You see that? The other thing I wanted to tell you guys real quick before I clarify, I will be taking a break doing personal readings and astrology readings. Right now we're scheduling the first 2 weeks in March, and after everything on the website is out of stock, I'm not scheduling readings for a while. I don't know how long that's going to be. So if you really do want to know what's going on, now's the time to get the reading, you know? Ace of Wands. Let's see what the Ace of Wands is. And you can just go to my website for all of that information. Okay. Four of Swords. Some kind of celebration, Aquarius. I love that. I love that there's a celebration. But, and maybe it's not a celebration. Maybe it's just the stability that you're finding. The universe is bringing you some kind of stability with this Saturn transit. There might need to be a little bit of instability first before that comes in, and that might be what this Mercury retrograde's happening with you, is the instability part. Like there's something that has been unstable either within you or within your environment for a while, for a little bit. And it's almost as if it's being rectified, or it's coming to it's not conclusion, but there's a blessing that's showing up for you right outside of this. And with Judgment on the Four of Swords, you've got to take a rest. I'm sorry, Aquarius, I got to tell you this. I feel like if you push yourself too much right now, you might get sick. But you're exhausted. And it's okay to admit that you're exhausted. I have to do it a lot these days. And I have to give myself permission, right? And it's hard, you know, when you know that you're the adult, or you know you're the one that has to be in charge of everything, or you know you're the one that has to take care of business. It's hard to take that time out for yourself, but something is showing you and bringing you the hope and that you needed to be able to just be like, oh, finally I can breathe. So let's see what the devil is. Four of Cups. Don't ignore the lessons. Now, you might be being ignored by a Capricorn, or you might be ignoring a Capricorn. But if a Capricorn isn't involved at all, don't ignore the fact that Saturn, I mean, like, don't just, like, let it go. The other thing is, oh, I gotta say this, don't focus on it too much. What I want you to do, I know that that sounded really, really, like, oxymoron, like, that was just, that was really bad. Okay, let me tell you what I mean by that. Normally, I don't like to over-explain, but you guys don't care. The Four of Cups is that the universe is providing for you. And sometimes you can't see that the universe is providing for you. And so you only focus on what's in front of you instead of like looking to see that there are blessings everywhere, right? There are signs and blessings everywhere. And I feel like that's what Saturn's trying to show you with this early transit. I literally am like, I need you to look. I need you to look. I need you to look. Like, stop thinking. I don't want you to think that like where you are right now is everything that it's ever going to be. Because the Six of Wands is here to tell you it's not. The other thing is I kind of feel like you guys are the people that are sort of rising above situations right now, you know? If you're worried about money, money is good. Money's coming in. And if you're worried about it, right, everything is slow during retrograde season. It really is. Everything is slow during retrograde season. But that Ace of Pentacles on the Six of Wands is saying that things are going to be working out fine. It's going to be coming in probably pretty quickly, especially towards the end of March. Don't let yourself think any differently. Okay? And here's the thing is, I feel like there's almost like a gift. You know, this could also be like some of you did your taxes and the refund is bigger than you think it's going to be. Like, you did your taxes, you think your refund's like one way, and then you actually look at it and it's so much bigger and better than it was before. I don't know. It feels like you're winning. I feel like that needs to be the title, but you know, Nine of Pentacles on the Eight of Wands. When you allow yourself to believe how strong you can be, or how strong you actually are, when you actually allow yourself and give yourself permission to believe that, it's amazing what you can accomplish. It's amazing. And being able to look at things in a different perspective and allowing yourself to look at stuff in a different perspective is huge. You know? And it's very hard sometimes when you have the mind that you have. Let's see what the Seven of Wands is. I feel like these boundaries aren't just with other people. I sort of feel like you need to have boundaries with yourself. Loving, healthy boundaries with yourself. And maybe a Libra. Ooh, Hanged Man. Those walls, Aquarius. Okay. So either you're dealing with a Pisces, we have Justice at the bottom of the deck, so it could be a Libra. And we also have Capricorn. But I think this is about you, to be honest. I think that sometimes you tell yourself that in order for you to just be okay, you got to keep up your walls. And I think that that paralyzes you because it doesn't give you, it's not balanced, which is what you really want, right? So we have Justice and the Four of Pentacles, and right? Page of Cups and the Queen of Swords. There you are. And you're not seeing the balance because you're really holding on to it's like you're holding on to everything that you have already. That's what the Four of Pentacles is telling me. That you're holding on to everything that you have already. And if you don't let up a little bit, because the Page of Cups is like, I just want something. Just want a little bit of something. Doesn't even have to be that much. And if that's all you want, a little bit of something, and it doesn't have to be that much, just let go of one of those pentacles a little bit. Meaning, when I say that, I don't necessarily mean money. Maybe it is money. Maybe you're holding on to all your coins, counting each little tiny coin all the time. And by doing that, the energy that you're giving your finances is a negative one. When you are saying that I don't have enough money, I never have enough money, I'm never going to have enough money, this is the way it's always going to be, you're putting that negative energy on it. But if you say, I'm open to what the universe is going to bring to me, and you allow yourself to see it in a different kind of way, it doesn't have to be so scary. It doesn't have to be so restrictive. You know, you put yourself in a restrictive, and I don't think that you necessarily see that. And I think that also, I think that also, you know, Aquarius, you have sort of a tendency to get information and then get lost in that information. So I have the Ace of Swords, I have the Two of Swords, the Five of Swords, and the Two of Swords. Okay? So the Ace of Swords is some kind of information. Somebody said something to you, some kind of information came in. And so towards the end of March, if you start watching all of those Saturn and Aquarius videos on YouTube, and you start getting trapped in your mind about what Saturn is going to do for you in the next 2.5 years, or what Saturn won't do for you, or that restriction that you're going to feel, ... and you allow yourself to buy into the fact that you have to be restricted during Saturn, then you'll be restricted. I'm not saying that Saturn is going to be an easy transit for anybody. A shift into a new sign with Saturn is always something bigger, especially like Aquarius, because you guys are the innovators. You guys are putting a mark on society right now, especially with the Saturn transit. So instead of getting yourself stuck into the notion that this has to be hard for you, allow yourself to listen to your intuition. Trust your gut, please. The High Priestess and the Moon. And take the motion and take the step one by one. You don't have to do the most all the time to get to where you're going. Sometimes taking a step back and resting, thank you very much, brings more positive energy to a situation than if you're exhausted and you're trying to force it, right? And faith and trust. And if you're having a hard time with faith and trust, I do offer workshops. I have workshops that are on replay on my website. If you weren't able to watch those workshops, you can also join us for the one that's in 2 days on the 22nd. They're very uplifting, and they're cheaper than readings, and they're 2 hours long. So you get me for 2 whole hours, and I give you the tools to do it, right? All right. I love you guys. I'm excited for you. I hope that you decide to get a reading with me before I decide to cut off personal readings for a while. I don't know how long it's going to be, but I do know that I need to take some time off. So I would love to humbly do a reading for you before I decide to do that. I love you guys. Have a wonderful March, and I will see you soon. Bye.